see if, what we're expecting from Lily really with that MMA background is, that MMA training, the big difference in styles, I think especially early on, is the emphasis on wrestling. I mean, we are seeing grapplers, jiu-jitsu athletes train more wrestling, whereas, 5-10 years ago it was seen as, something that you don't really include in your training, and you'd be expecting them to pull guard. And even right now already, Robyn not looking to pull guard at all and happy to engage in some of the grip fight and standing up.
Looks like Lily's trying to get round to the back there.
Yeah, almost there. Underhook and an arm drag from Robyn. Just jostling for position here, and she's nice. She's stepping in. Very long legs here, definitely the longer of the two athletes, and trying to get those legs on the outside, maybe snap down, and there we go.
Shot in.
Beautifully done into a clinch there, and straight jumping onto the back. Lily trying to get to top position here, and there's always that moment where you're kind of fighting between to try and get on top. Robyn in a nice position here, looking to hit this knee through guard pass. That top side, that left leg knee shield from Lily is kind of the main thing that's blocking that.
Lily also has a nice hook there with the right leg underneath.
Yeah, so lots of pressure on that far side from Robyn Lucas. She needs to try and fight through that right hand for a deep underhook on the far side, I think, if she can flatten her opponent out. But Lily doing a really good job of keeping that left leg as a knee shield and stopping that pressure from being put on. I mean, speaking of pressure, look at that left hand on the face, just pushing down. Sometimes you've got to make it a little bit of a nasty little fight there, get in their head.
Or get on their head.
Get in their head or on their head, yeah, exactly.
And she's getting on her head.
Yep.
There we go.
So Lily doing a good job of utilising this knee shield. I think really what I'd be looking to do from here is possibly try and get into a butterfly guard position. If I can turn that left leg, that knee shield, into a butterfly guard, or possibly even a deep half position from here. If we look at the right arm of Lily, she could try and get into a deep half position and sweep from there. But right now, really, the pressure is coming from Robyn, and Lily just working defensively. But so far, very good guard retention.
They're both back up.
Back up to the feet, yeah.
As you were saying, I imagine Lily does want to be on top with being in an MMA background.
Yeah, would you? Yeah, absolutely. Certainly wants to be on top, and I think standing up out of the guard position is something, again, that's very MMA. In grappling, you would never look to disengage to stand.
Absolutely
but
not.
in MMA, that's something that you're going to do quite a lot. And it can be smart, especially if you think that you have the advantage in the stand-up grappling. Maybe Lily didn't think that Robyn was going to have as much as she does have for her in terms of the wrestling. Again, very heavy on this collar tie.
It'll be interesting to see if there are any submission attempts.
Yeah, so really, really good point. Again, we're looking for those submission attempts. So far, we haven't had any. So right now, no doubt that Robyn is winning on the scorecards for sort of positional control and aggressiveness, but one submission attempt will trump that. And it does, we'll talk about this lots tonight, I'm sure, but that rule, that judging criteria really changes the game plan.
It does, yeah. It is very different from, say, your IBJJF tournament, or
even other grappling shows such as Polaris, where you're judging it as an overall, and you consider the submission attempts highly, and you also consider transitions. In this, the submission attempts are really considered above all else. Guard pull here. This is interesting now. We've been thinking that maybe Lily wants to fight on top. Perhaps we're going to see that, but instead she looks to stand, and Robyn electing to stand up into that guard. And from here you could open the legs quickly and switch into a body lock takedown, possibly.
Lily did really well at just bringing her hips back, bringing her arms into play, and not allowing her to get that takedown.
So we're creeping up on halfway through this match. So far, 0 submission attempts from either girl, but definitely the aggression and so far all the positive transitions made by Robyn.
They are definitely both searching for that position before submission, I'd say.
Yeah. And these matches are long. the 10 minutes is a long match, especially for, these girls are blue belts. If they're competing in normal grappling tournaments, you're looking at 5 or 6 minute matches. So 10 minutes is double what a lot of these people would be used to competing in. But then you only have to fight once, which is...
I mean, in MMA, what is it, like however many rounds of
MMA,
so
well, I think amateur MMA, which is what Lily will be going into, I believe it's 3 3-minute rounds.
Okay.
So it's kind of even less time than this, and obviously you've got those breaks in between. So it's a very different energy system that you've got to go, and different level of intensity. Robyn's still really heavy with these collar ties, and Lily's just not been able to get on the inside of Robyn at all so far. We haven't seen any shots. She's still trying to jostle for position with the upper body, and Robyn getting the advantage in the stand-up and even in the gripping here. Right now, however, Lily's got a good clinch position here. I mean, she must be thinking, I wish I could throw some knees right now. I mean, you can't throw knees in amateur MMA, but I bet she's still thinking that.
So we've got 3 minutes 50 left of the match. No submission attempts. But positionally, who would you give it to, Dan?
Oh, I've got to say Robyn so far. She's the only person who really it's based on that takedown and close to a guard pass, in the first minute of the fight.
Yeah.
So, nice snap down here. She goes for the throw. But
straight into the audience.
having to grab those sponsors' banners there. And that's what we've been seeing from Robyn, is trying to take control with that upper body and then using those long legs to try and trip. I believe that's how, she was going for that early and then managed to get to the back, and that's how she got that early takedown. 3 minutes left in this match. And you've got to think at this point, I mean, what do you do at this point if you're Lily?
If I was Lily, I mean, I would probably be pulling guard by this point and trying to come underneath, get underneath the center of gravity, and at least going for a footlock of some sort,
And maybe that's part of the strategy. And you've got to think, some people just don't put that much emphasis on strategy. And especially, these girls have been training under 2 years, really, both blue belts. And a lot of the time they're just thinking, I'm just going to go out there and do whatever feels right. And you have some people who train for 6 months, do a tournament, and they're up the night before with a board trying to work out all of the most efficient strategies. So if there is a strategy here, it could well be wait until the last minute and then just go for it. Go for a takedown. Go for a submission.
Something crazy.
Go for something crazy. I think so far, I mean, we've been standing up for maybe 5 minutes at this point.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Lily able to find sort of any weakness in the positioning or the angles from Robyn. So I really do think at this point, a minute, 2 minutes left. Think about the guard pull, and that's of course if she doesn't get taken down.
Yeah.
She's jumping guard pull here, and
straight over to Mount. That did not look nice on the knee.
Yeah, that leg looked.
She's straight up.
Yep. I mean, ready to go.
Mount. Yeah.
I mean, fair play. If I was Lily, I'd probably be contesting that was off the mat when it happened, but seemed very happy to take that inside the closed guard. Okay, I'll take that if they're happy for it. And the long legs of Robyn Lucas, able to lock a body triangle around her back, and there are very few people who are able to do this. But what this tells me, the interesting thing about this position, what this body lock position from closed guard tells me actually is no submission attempts.
Yeah, there's not going to be much movement.
It's like a lockdown from a half guard. You have some ways that you can taut the leg and use deep half guard, but a position like this, you are not. There's almost no submissions that you can do.
No, you can't get that movement on the hips at the end of the day, isn't it?
Yeah. And if you think about, almost all of the main, the big three in terms of submissions from closed guard, arm bars, triangles, omoplatas, they all require the legs to be very much part of the action.
Exactly.
Of course, Robyn could be looking to get some control on the upper body and then maybe open those legs out, but I think she knows she's done enough early on to take this on the judges' scorecard. Here's an armbar attempt. 15 seconds left, and I think this will secure it, if anything, maybe switch into a triangle, into a leg lock here.
She's going to the last second. 5. not quite, but I think that's definitely swayed the decision towards
Robyn.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be very surprised otherwise. Really one-way traffic in this match. A lot of, I mean, we had that takedown early. We had that attempted guard pass. You can have a look at some of these. This was the early takedown, really nicely done.
Nice.
Tries to trip from here and then falls backwards, tries to take the back, and Lily's able to do a fantastic job here, turning into the guard. And then we had a long period in the middle of just jostling for position in the clinch. Finally, towards the end, sort of a couple of minutes or a minute and a half to go, we ended up with Robyn on her back inside closed guard, and we saw the first couple of submission attempts of the match.